Hi everyone, welcome back to my classroom studio here at Mason High School. I'm Karen Witham-Walsh and I teach high school ceramics. This video I'm going to be showing my students in a live demonstration how to throw an 18-pound platter from multiple chunks of clay. Also, if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, that's because it is a live demo and my students are there, so it's a little bit different than most of the videos that I shoot where no one else is in the room. This video is an intermediate to an advanced technique. My students are only required to make an 8-pound platter for their project, but I wanted to show them how they could go bigger if they were so inclined. Now check back in about 2 weeks. I will have a follow-up video posted on how I show them how to trim a double foot ring. I'm going to show a double foot ring because it's going to be very wide, and an undercut foot ring so it creates like a notch so you can hang the platter up on a wall. Also, if I sound slightly different in the video, it's because I'm in class with my students, so I'm wearing a mask at the time. So I might be just a little bit muffled, but you still should be able to understand what I'm saying. So drop me any questions or comments that you might have in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the video description for the follow-up video. I will link it there, and a list of my favorite tools and materials that I enjoy using in ceramics. Good luck. I am going to be showing you guys how to make the 8-pound platter, except I'm going much bigger. I have multiple balls, and I wanted to show you. Now you will notice that I am not using a splash pan. I am using the largest bat. You do not have to do this with an 8-pound platter, but because I'm going so large, I wanted to show you this. So the bottom of my platter is going to be coming out to here, which is bigger than the other bat. You cannot use the splash pans when you're using this. It will not fit. Okay, these are the biggest platter bats that I have. Okay, so just like before, we're going to cone the first piece, making sure that you're focused on centering down here near the bat, making sure that your elbows are locked. If you're centering a large hunk of clay, you might find it nice to put your elbow into your hip. That way you can kind of lean into it, and you don't have to rely on your arm strength. You're relying on your body weight and just leaning into it. It's more like core strength. Then I'm going to get off all of my slip, just like I did before. Make sure that you're not compressing the slip. Make sure that you are scraping away the slip. And then I'm going to get the slip off my hands. Now, anyone take a guess how much weight I have with these 4 balls combined? Higher. 16. 20. It's 18.5 pounds. Oh my God. Okay, so I wanted to show you how you can go bigger. All right. I'm going to go ahead and plop that on there. Remember that you have to be careful not to have any creases in the bottom of your hunk that you're putting on there. Then I'm going to just seal this. You don't have to do multiple balls like this, but this is a way that makes it a little bit easier if you struggle. Okay, then I'm going to cone up. Now, you will notice that I'm not getting all wet because I'm trying to control the amount of water that I have since I don't have a splash pan. But it might be a good idea, like if you wanted to put a towel there to catch if stuff comes off of your bat. Oops. And all of these hunks of clay were kind of wedged from the same moisture of clay. Like I had some that was a little bit drier, some that was a little bit wetter. I combined them, split them up once I had it wedged. Okay, let's go for number 3. Okay, so this is, I've already hit the 8 pounds, I'm sure, by this. So if I were doing just 8 pounds, which is your required platter size, I could use the medium size bat that we have, and that would be fine. The platter should be kind of a serving platter, so it's definitely bigger than a dinner plate. And you can think about whatever style you want. If you want it scooped, if you want it to have a flange or a rim. Okay. If you ever do this without the splash pans, don't wear white or something that you're going to stain, perhaps. Dress down a little bit. So I am starting to get it on my pants now. It is starting to kind of fly off the bat a little bit. I wanted to show you this in case anyone feels like extra ambitious, but by all means, this is not the requirement for what you have to do. I have an air bubble right here. You guys might be able to see it. I'm just seeing if I can pop it. There we go. Because I didn't want to put the next piece on and trap that air bubble if I could avoid it. Okay, once again, always domed. Sorry? Yeah, I've got one more. Okay. I don't do platters like this except when I demo for you guys. Like, I don't typically make platters like this at home. They're just, first of all, they're really, really hard to ship. Like, I remember I shipped some Florida. It cost $90 just to ship it. So it's kind of cost prohibitive. So, okay. All right. Last one. Oh, that was not in the middle, but close. So the beating of it is, I just try to do that to make it a little bit easier when I go to add the water. Okay. Okay, so when it's really big like this, I do stand up and I'm going to lean into it. So my elbow, my left elbow is braced against my hip. Soft clay is better than hard clay, and this was not particularly soft. So when we come back from break and we have a whole bunch of pugged clay that's ready to go, use that stuff. Okay, so I'm slowly bringing it down. I'm being very aware not to have it fold over, not to have it trap, slip, or anything. I'm just trying to make it into the giant hockey puck. Now it's getting a little bit off right down here at the base where it's meeting the bat. So I just kind of have to be a little bit aware of that. I'm going to have a lot of mopping to do here. So it's all essentially like a plate, just maybe using more weight behind what I'm doing. All right. Ooh, did you notice my wheel was slowing down just then? It's bogging. These wheels are 25 years old. They've been really good, but as the motor ages, they do get bogged down when you put a lot of pressure on it. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit just because it was bogging. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use the heel of my hand to drop it a little bit more in the middle. Ooh, that's really slowing down. Production potters who do, big pieces like this all the time often have big motors. These are the smaller Pacifica wheels. Like, they have some with bigger motors than this that might be more appropriate for its age. A new one would have no problem handling this. All right, so I'm dropping the middle just a little bit more with the heel of my hand. And I'm going to leave this part. Don't worry about that, it's wonky right now. I'll fix it. This part is going to be the rim that I'm going to pull up and open. Okay. Woo! This is a workout. Okay. So as I said, I'm trying to keep the base of it close to the diameter of this back. Now, what do you guys think I should do next? How should I fix this, the wall where it's wonky? Duckbill, yes. And now, so I call it the duckbill when it's small. There is a potter, a very famous potter. His name was Robin Hopper, who I first learned this method. And he always called it the claw when he was doing something big. So I'm going to switch from the little delicate duckbill to the claw now. Okay, and I'm going to grab side to side with the left, push down with the right. Really trying to lock. I had to switch up my hand position there. But remember that you have to press from the side, the inside, the outside, and the top all at the same time to recenter that. So there we go. All right. So now I have this big old rim of clay. I'm going to make a scooped one where it just goes out. Remember, just like a bowl or a plate, you have to leave adequate thickness at the base of the wall. So now I'm squeezing it up with the claw kind of thing, or the duckbill, rather than making an actual pull. So it's like a giant bowl at this point. If I want to make it a little bit flatter, I can do that. I'm just adding a little water to the outside. I think I'm going to trim my edge here too a little bit. That's like 3/4 of a pound of clay that I just took off on the rim. So now I'm down to 18 pounds instead of 18 and a half. So I'm just doing a little bit more into my rim here. I wanted to kind of give it a little bit more heft and a shadow line. And then I'm going to do one other thing that I've never shown you before. I'm going to split it. I'm splitting the rim. Can you see what I've just done here? Okay, so the reason that I'm doing that is it's going to be a glaze catcher, and then I'm softening it. Now I'm done. And that is throwing an 18.5-pound platter. After spring break, and it has become leather hard, I am going to show you how you can create what's called an undercut on the foot if you would like to make a double foot ring or an undercut foot. And an undercut foot has a notch so you can physically hang it on a hook on a wall. Okay. This is obvious that I'm going to say this, but my goodness, don't forget to cut a platter. Okay, make sure your hands are underneath the edge of the bat. Take your splash pans off if they're still on. That way it doesn't ride up.